Coming up, learning lessons from Irma. We'll tell you what Florida Power and Light will do differently this hurricane season. Plus, the search is on for those involved in a Sarasota drive-by shooting, the type of car police are looking for, and how you can save money when preparing for hurricane season. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at noon.
Hi, I'm Ray Collins. Scott is off today. This afternoon, Sarasota City Commission will talk about the severe erosion on Lido Key Beach. The city declared a local state of emergency last Wednesday after a series of storms. The declaration allows property owners to place up to 300 cubic yards of bagged sand on the beach to protect private property. Now, the issue is on today's agenda at City Hall at 2:30 p.m. and is open to the public. Now, in the wake of Hurricane Irma, Florida Power and Light says it is using the lessons learned from last year's hurricane to update how it operates and prepares for possible severe weather this season. Our Marla Spence tells us what they're doing differently now.
Last hurricane season, when Irma hit, the storm knocked out power to millions of homes and businesses across the state of Florida for days. This year, Florida Power and Light wants to make sure they are well equipped and ready this time around to respond to that type of magnitude of a power outage if a storm were to head our way. The company says the majority of the outages were caused by downed tree limbs and debris knocking into power poles. This season, the company is implementing an initiative called Right Tree, Right Place. This program is geared to educating FPL customers on planting trees and plants in the right place and making sure they are trimmed away from power lines. The company recommends trees being at least 30 feet away from any power poles or power lines. Another way FPL is working on reducing the number of outages this hurricane season compared to last is by upgrading its company's website and mobile app. They say both the website and mobile app last year was not able to handle the amount of customers reporting outages and checking the status of power restoration. This year, the company says it's made some new changes and its website and mobile app will be easier to use by customers. Both the website and mobile app will now be able to handle more traffic than last hurricane season.
So during Irma, one of the things that we found is that our mobile application, as well as our FPL.com site, were not ready for the volumes that they were receiving during the storm. We've made a lot of improvements and investments in those applications so that they can be ready for those volumes during the next hurricane.
They hope the new updates to the website and its mobile app will make it easier for customers to use. I'm Marla Spence reporting in Sarasota for ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And you have a few days left to stock up on those hurricane supplies, tax-free right now. From now until Thursday, you don't have to pay sales tax on supplies like batteries, lights, gas containers, generators, coolers, radios. It's all part of Florida's disaster preparedness sales tax holiday. The state also says it's a good time to update your hurricane preparedness kit. Right now, the tropics, you say, are relatively quiet.
They are right now,
Good.
So it's a perfect time to get your plan in order and sit down with your family and discuss what you would do in the case of an emergency like this so you don't get caught off guard.
Good idea.
And there's also, of course, if you missed it, last week at 7 o'clock, we had our hurricane special here at ABC 7, and that is going to be online, so you can go online and watch it anytime, and there's some good information there for you as well. Things that have changed this year.
Right.
And things that you need to keep in mind should we get another big storm around here.
Good.
And some computer models hint there may be something in the works down the road, maybe 10, 14 days from now. So that's way, way, way down the road. But still, it is an indication that things could pick up. So, now's the time to make your plan. Case Key webcam shows pretty nice start to the day, though. I'll tell you what, we had some nice sunny skies over the weekend, warm temperatures, and very sultry out there with an onshore wind flow. That wind kind of picking up some of the humidity from Gulf waters and slinging it back in our direction. Right now, a lot of blue out in the open waters, but I think inland we're going to see the showers kind of building in inland Hardee and DeSoto counties, kind of far away from the coast, but nevertheless there will be a few scattered showers there. 88 degrees I think will hit by about 3 o'clock this afternoon. That'll be about as high as we get. The sea breeze keeping the coastal regions just a little bit cooler. A frontal boundary located just to the north of us has some drier air back behind it. We might sample a bit of that as we head into the midweek period, but certainly for today we are in the thick of it in that hot, humid air. Tide and radar showing a few of those showers that have built during the course of the last hour or two in inland areas. They're kind of drifting further and further away from the coast, and that'll be the case throughout the day today. We're at 86 degrees, 74%, a dew point value of 77, which is about as high as it gets around here, making it feel pretty sticky out there. Feels like temperatures this afternoon in the mid-90s. We'll have the complete forecast, including that drier air, coming up in a minute.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, John. Developing story in Sarasota. Police are investigating a fatal drive-by in Newtown yesterday. It happened about 3:30 p.m. on Lemon near 22nd Street. Police say the victim was rushed to Blake Medical Center where he later died. Investigators now have a blue car in their possession. They're looking for the shooter in this case. If you can help, call Crime Stoppers in Sarasota County. An update now into a sinkhole that opened up nearly 2 years ago at a fertilizer manufacturing plant in Polk County. Now today, Mosaic is allowing the public to tour the site and see the multi-million-dollar repairs. This is file video from when the sinkhole first opened. It caused over 200 million gallons of tainted water to leak into Florida's main aquifer. The incident changed the way the public is notified about pollution spills in the state. Mosaic spent $84 million to fix the problem at the plant northeast of Tampa. And by the way, Mosaic has since moved their national headquarters from out of state to southern Hillsborough County. Sarasota County is reminding homeowners about their crackdown on certain fertilizers. Nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizer have been banned for several months since 2007. The goal is to protect water quality from tainted stormwater runoff. The fertilizer's restricted season runs from June 1st to September 30th. American Airlines is making it easier to fly from Sarasota to Texas. The airline will add a nonstop service between Dallas-Fort Worth Airport and the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport. Now, flights won't start until later on this year, December 18th. American already has year-round daily nonstop service between Sarasota and Charlotte and Washington, D.C. Well, Wall Street is also taking off this noon. How was that?
Very good. I'll tell you, this man's on his game.
Richard Stern has details of Wall Street. Yes.
Yes, pretty darn good start. We had a great finish last week, if you recall. We were up and down, up and down. Real strong day on Friday. Good follow through today. Yes, indeed. Up all day long. The Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 224 points at the high of the day. Up 150 points, frankly, in the first 5 minutes of trading. We did see a terrific jobs report on Friday. That certainly has something to do with it. And an all-time high set this morning by Apple, trading more than $192 a share. Put that all together, yes, indeed, a pretty nice Monday morning. Let's take a look at the figures as they stand right now. Dow Jones Industrial Average up by 178 points at 24,813.33. That on volume of 386 million shares. The NASDAQ for the day up by between 3 and 0.4%, up 26 points at 7,578.88. That on volume of 802 million shares. And if those two are up, so's the S&P, up by exactly 1/3%, more than 9 points at 2,743.50. Well, not only is the stock market operating on all cylinders, guess what? So is McDonald's. Shares of McDonald's continue to move higher as the company continues to innovate. What are they doing this week? Well, they're opening a brand new headquarters in downtown Chicago, leaving Oak Brook, Illinois for the first time since the early 1970s. And yes, they continue to innovate their menus, and they have now said they are going to add 1,000 kiosks per quarter to every McDonald's restaurant, and they're just doing everything right. And Ray, if I may say, the other thing they're doing right, their brand new headquarters, you're going to be able to sample McDonald's from all over the world.
Is that right?
Not only Big Macs and things like that, but they vary from country to country.
Different ingredients, and the drinks taste different as well, I believe.
I'm sure they do.
See you back here at 5?
I'll be here.
All right, see you then. Thank you, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, much more health news on the way as well. The cancer breakthrough, bringing new hope to patients fearing the brutal effects of chemotherapy. And while studies show a drop in sales for brand name medications, is it really helping you save money? The answer after this.
Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
When my youngest Addie was 2.5. She was diagnosed with leukemia. When we first heard that diagnosis, you feel extremely alone. Walking in that Light the Night light with 6,000 people carrying lights, white for survivors, red for supporters, gold in memory of those who have passed. It's the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society's hope that every year there are fewer gold lanterns. Your lantern will make a difference. Start a team, join a team.
Help us light the night.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Hello, Mom.
Amanda's mom's appointment just got rescheduled for today. Amanda needs Right at Home. Our customized care plan provides as much or as little help as her mom requires, whether it's a ride to the doctor or help around the house.
Oh, of course. Tom, I am really sorry. I've got to go.
Look, call Right at Home.
Get the right care right at home.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 4 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317, go online, or visit a Target store today.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at temperatures that are coming in at about 88 degrees across the area. And that's probably about as warm as we're going to get this afternoon, 88. And probably not much in the way of any kind of rainfall close to the coastline. A west wind is going to push those showers into well inland areas today. We'll have a nice evening, I think. We'll have a little bit of cloud cover, residual cloud cover kind of left over, so that as we head into the 7 p.m. hour, temperature falling to about 82, should feel pleasant. Also, that westerly wind, if you're going to take a little stroll on the beach, should be nice. Should have enough cloud cover out there that the setting sun will reflect some colors, and it should fill the sky. 82 degrees by about midnight, and then we wake up tomorrow morning about 78. So here's the Futurecast computer model for about 3 p.m. this afternoon. Expect to see most of that showery activity pushed toward the other coast by a general westerly wind. Not impossible that we'll pick up an isolated shower or two out in Gulf waters by late this afternoon into the early evening, but I think most of those will dissipate by the time they get closer to the coastline. You may see one actually make it onshore, but it will be a light shower, nothing heavy, certainly nothing severe. Then as we head into tomorrow morning, I think we have a chance of seeing a few of these showers kind of moving onshore, 1 or 2. I think this model kind of overdoes it just a little bit in terms of how much rain we get. But I wouldn't be surprised to see an isolated shower in the pre-dawn hours move onshore. And then just like today, with that westerly wind, most all of those showers will be pushed well inland, where that's where we'll see most of the activity. High pressure brings us this westerly wind. A frontal boundary located just to the north stalls out over North Florida. And here's the thing. With time, that frontal boundary actually makes it down into west central Florida before it eventually just washes away. And some of the dry air back behind it may actually filter in here as we head into Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you might notice kind of a little bit of reduction in that afternoon humidity. That's possible. So today, hot, humid, no doubt about that. Dew points in the upper 70s. It'll feel sticky this afternoon. Slight rain chances near the coast, much better rain chances in far inland areas, even outside of our viewing area in Highlands County. That's where we'll have some really good rain chances. And then a slight break in the humidity perhaps as we head into midweek, and some of that drier air to the north might just filter southward into our area. So Titan radar picking up a few of those showers just as we thought they might be doing, moving toward the other coast where they will become, I think, greater in number and stronger in intensity. I don't think we'll see a whole lot build here in the afternoon, as we are currently seeing pretty quiet conditions. That kind of westerly wind forcing in a more stable marine layer right along our coastline. And there are a few scattered showers out in the Gulf waters, still all part of a frontal boundary which kind of meanders right across northern Florida and the northern Gulf Coast. It's producing some fairly heavy weather back to the west, but not a lot of heavy weather for us. A little bit of cloud cover perhaps from time to time, but also a lot of sunshine helping to boost that temperature up there and giving us a feels-like temperature when you factor in the temperature and the humidity. The feels-like temperature coming in the mid-90s. So kind of steamy out there. Beach and boating forecast calls for that west wind to continue on, maybe picking up a little bit during the overnight. And then as we head into the next several days, we'll have temperatures that'll be warm with slight chances of rain, I think, near the coast in the morning, but better chances inland later in the afternoon, followed by perhaps a slight little downtick in the amount of rainfall we get as wet, drier air filters in aloft, and then over the weekend another little system aloft, helping to increase the chances of afternoon thunderstorm activity. Warm temperatures right straight through the 7 days. Back to you.
Thank you, John. A major new study finds more patients than previously realized can safely skip breast cancer chemotherapy. As ABC's Maggie Rulli tells us, this would affect about 70,000 patients each year.
It's the largest study ever done about breast cancer treatment, and its main finding is that at least 70% of early-stage breast cancer patients may not need chemotherapy while battling the disease. It's welcome news to those who've experienced it.
I had nausea. I also then lost my hair. It felt like the worst flu I'd ever had, times 10. And you have absolutely no energy.
The study used a gene test done on tumors to help decide whether a woman would benefit from chemo or if they could receive hormone therapy. Using this test, researchers found that chemotherapy did not add any benefit in survival rates or reoccurrence for most women. But researchers say some women 50 and younger in high-risk groups might still need chemo.
This is for the woman at intermediate risk for that cancer to recur. So we used to say for that group of women in terms of chemotherapy, better safe than sorry. This trial using this type of genetic test lets us say to those women, you will do fine without chemotherapy and spare all of the stuff that comes along with that.
Maggie Rulli, ABC News, New York.
And now more encouraging news for cancer patients. Medical experts say people living with pancreatic cancer lived longer on a 4-drug combo over a single standard cancer drug. The study was conducted on those whose cancer had not spread. Are you really saving money by buying off-brand or generic prescriptions? According to a new government survey, not necessarily. Medicare recipients filled fewer prescriptions for pricey brand name drugs, but spent more on them. The reason? Rising manufacturer prices. Now, the findings found a 17% drop in the overall number of prescriptions for brand name medications over the past 5 years, but despite that, costs for branded drugs went in the opposite direction, increasing by 40% from 2011 to 2015. Total costs were highest for medications for diabetes, cholesterol, and asthma. All right, time for lunch, but today, Chef Judy has a brunch idea instead. Judy?
That's right. I love when the cooking magazines start coming to my house every month, and I get so excited to find creative recipes from different restaurants around the country. Well, this one is based from a recipe I found in Food and Wine, and I've adopted it slightly, and I think Ray will be happy because he can omit the bagel or use a gluten-free bagel and have a wonderful brunch. I found these bagels, they're a baguette bagel, so they really give you the best of both worlds, similar to a Bialy over at Whole Foods. We're going to take some homemade homemade fresh ricotta cheese and whip that with some zest of lemon and lemon juice. And we are going to brown gently the summer squash and zucchini. I'll teach you a technique to get rid of that extra water with it. And we've toasted up some hazelnuts. So stay with me. We have a creative brunch item today. It's not your bagels and lox. We'll be back in just a few minutes to get started.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I'll be right back. Hi! You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that? Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish!
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
We are problem solvers striving for answers. Relevancy on every platform. We are driven to create content that's compelling, engaging, where it matters. We are neighbors that care about solutions, believers in making a difference, leaders, innovating in an exciting era of multimedia, reaching to always be the gold standard in our evolving landscape. We are Raycom Media. Find your opportunity today.
Designers do it with style.
Tell me what's going on here, because
Why, you don't like my hair? The Mark and Mandy Show. In-depth design ideas.
What is up with the tuck tape here? Let's cover it up.
Amazing beauty and fashion tips.
So Halle Berry has amazing skin. Her secret is coffee grounds. No.
Delicious recipes.
Today, I'm gonna show you a special dish that is sure to please that special someone in your life.
Watch the Mark and Mandy Show right here on your favorite channel.
Caught on camera, fire destroyed a famous former resort in northeastern Pennsylvania. It happened at the Fernwood Resort near East Stroudsburg. The resort had been closed for several years. A Buddhist group bought it last year and was going to make it into a World Peace Center. Not anymore. The fire chief says most of the main building is gone. No injuries, and the cause is still under investigation.
2, 1, 0, ignition.
Another new mission for SpaceX overnight. Inventor Elon Musk's company launched the SES-12 satellite from Cape Canaveral just after midnight. The satellite was on a Falcon 9 rocket, but separated about half an hour into the flight. SpaceX says the satellite will allow telephone companies, mobile network operators, and internet providers to deliver more reliable cell phone and faster broadband service. And that sounds good to us. What also sounds good is a creative brunch idea with Chef Judy Gallagher. Chef?
Nice lead in there. I love it. So we're going to take 3 summer squash and 1 zucchini, and you can mix that up. The thing to know about zucchini and summer squash is they do have a lot of water retention. That's why when you cook them, they tend to get soggy. So a simple saute is going to work. What I want you to do is cut the ends and the tip off. Then you're going to cut them lengthwise, just like this. You're going to sprinkle that with olive oil, about 2 to 3 tablespoons, salt and pepper. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna turn this over and keep that bowl right underneath. And we're gonna let this drain, just slightly tipped up there, for about 10 to 12 minutes. That's gonna get some of that excess water out. Then we're gonna take our cast iron pan and we're gonna lay down the squash in olive oil, and we're just gonna slightly brown it. So you hear the sizzle, obviously, because it's a cast iron pan, but I only have it set at a medium temperature. So we don't wanna get it too quickly browned where it's still gonna be a bit tough in the inside. So we're gonna let that go for about 5 minutes, but we're gonna move it around a little bit. Now let's talk about these great bagels. I don't know if you know what a bialy is. A bialy is between a bagel and a hard roll. So now we have a baguette bagel, which I think is just wonderful. And I was looking for ways that I could serve something, a creative bagel dish and a creative dish for my friends that are vegetarian. And this is how I found this recipe. Now this also works as a wonderful side dish if you want to serve it in a little casserole or a mini cast iron. So let's just take a look. So you can start to see what I do is where you see it's starting to brown, be fantastic. And I can feel that the heat's gonna really let that be a little more tender. So we're gonna add one more piece, face down first. That's just how I can remember. Now we come back and show you a little tip on how to peel the hazelnuts. Hazelnuts, you have to get that skin off, but there's a new way and we'll walk you through it. Whip up the ricotta cheese with some zest of lemon and then we'll marinate the squash and it's really gonna be a flavorful dish. So come back, we'll get this part started and ready for the next.
To be able to just get my son here and not think about how we will pay for it, it just takes so much weight off of my family. St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
Northland Outdoors is about so much more than the biggest fish or the hottest hunting spots. All across the Northland, there are amazing people with incredible stories to tell. We're going to find those stories and share them with everyone. Join us each and every week as we explore the Northland and experience some of the most exciting outdoor adventures in the country right here in our own backyard. This is Northland Outdoors.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
The skills you develop as a soldier in the Army National Guard can give you a head start on your career. Gain practical experience with technology and equipment that will give you a leg up in the civilian world. Learn critical leadership skills and to be part of a team. Serve your community and your country part-time while earning money for an education. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn about the paid training and career opportunities available to you in the Army National Guard.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Are you a food lover, restaurant goer, or home cook? Then check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, and helpful step-by-step videos. And you'll love the restaurant guide with direct links to your favorite Suncoast eateries. Whether you're cooking in or dining out, whet your appetite with tasty tips from Chef Judy at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Coming up, a deadly volcanic eruption, this time in Central America. This new natural disaster coming as Hawaii works to recover from its own disaster. Plus, as survivors of that deadly Broward County school shooting mark their graduation, we'll show you what's being done to make sure memories of their fallen classmates live on.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Well, another volcano, this time in Central America. An eruption in Guatemala killed at least 25 people. Reporter Zachary Quiche gives us a look now at the devastation there while lava continues to spew in Hawaii.
It's the second eruption of the year for the volcano known as Fuego, or fire. This time, rescuers did what they could as the energy sent lava into homes and blanketed roads with ash. This survivor telling us not everyone escaped. I think they were buried. The eruption about 25 miles southwest of Guatemala City killed at least 25 people. Local emergency management in Guatemala says over 3,000 people have been evacuated from the area. Residents describing running towards a hill as they saw lava pour through cornfields. In Hawaii, where for the past 4 weeks, residents have been dealing with the relentless Kilauea volcano, a lava flow has now cut off evacuation routes and trapped residents who ignored evacuation orders.
We put out a message this morning for folks who knew people that were still in there to make contact with us.
Scientists say overnight the lava was moving fast enough to cover 6 football fields an hour. Brian Jordan and his wife are waiting to see if lava will spare their home. The couple has not yet evacuated.
We're very lucky compared to a lot of our friends. They've lost their homes, they've lost their property.
Officials say that the current lava flows are the hottest and fastest yet. Officials also say that those same flows could cut off the limited number of evacuation routes left. Zachary Quiche, ABC News, New York.
A raging wildfire in northern New Mexico today has firefighters racing against the clock. The flames have already destroyed 15 buildings and hundreds of homes are threatened. Dry conditions are causing the fire to spread. And for those living nearby, they say the whole scene is hard to believe.
It's just weird. You know, we're a small town, so there's not much ever going on, but for like that, I don't know. It's just unreal, like you're in a dream.
Around 500 firefighters are attacking the flames on the ground and in the air.
Wow, that's scary looking. Man.
Warmer around here. I was down in Naples this past weekend. It seems about 10 degrees hotter down there than it is here even.
Well, you know, the thing is, the temperatures are warm. They're in the upper 80s, but if you factor in the humidity, I mean, we've got 77-degree dew points, which basically is as sticky and as thick as the air gets around here.
Right.
So that makes it more difficult for your body to perspire, which is its natural cooling mechanism. So the air feels warmer than it actually is, and that's what the feels like temperature is all about. And it's in the mid-90s, the feels like temperature.
Yeah, it feels like it right now. Summer's here.
Yeah, it sure feels like it for a while. Hey, here's your drought index, which shows what recent rains have done for us. Now, back to the west where you just saw that wildfire video, there is, of course, the most extreme of the drought situations ongoing there, not only for New Mexico, but for a large chunk stretching back into Texas. But for us here locally, all of those rains have just actually eliminated any drought that we had. We were in abnormally dry, even moderate drought conditions in parts of South Florida, and that's just not the case anymore. So that's good, but we do need a chance to dry out, and we're getting that right now. 88 degrees, our current air temperature as we head into the afternoon. Little chance of rainfall. In inland areas, maybe a little bit, but otherwise not much around. There's a frontal boundary to the north of us. That's kicking off a few cloud areas in Gulf waters, and also some big thunderstorm activity back to the west. Oklahoma and Texas both seeing some chances of severe weather today. But for us, there's just nothing around that's going to trigger showers in our neck of the woods. In fact, that west wind pushes everything over to the other coast, and we're just left with those warm temperatures. There's a few of those showers, as you see, moving further and further away from us. Our high today about 88. We'll have the complete forecast details for you coming up in a few.
Thank you, John. Some survivors of the Broward County school shooting are starting a multi-state bus tour to get students nationwide motivated to vote. The students from Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland will kick off their tour later this month called March for Our Lives Road to Change. They planned 50 stops in 20 states, starting in Chicago on June 15th. They'll join a peace march there led by some students. A gunman shot and killed 17 students and faculty at their school almost 4 months ago. Meantime, an emotional graduation ceremony last night in Broward County. As reporter Leanne Moorjohn tells us, some students thought about their futures as they thought about their past as well.
Seniors at Marjory Stoneman Douglas High School filing into the BB&T Center in Sunrise for their graduation Sunday afternoon. Pomp and circumstance marred by a harsh reality that members of the 2018 graduating class and MSD staff are noticeably absent. Meadow Pollock, Nicholas Dworet, Carmen Shentrup, and Joaquin Oliver, all seniors, were killed in the February 14th shooting at their school. Joaquin's parents attended the graduation receiving their son's diploma, his mother wearing a shirt that said, "This should be my son."
We're all in a club no one wants to be in.
For Meadow Pollock's father, it was just too hard to be there.
And it hurts him to not see his daughter graduate.
But Meadow's older brother Hunter, along with his cousins and Meadow's longtime boyfriend, accepted a commemorative shadow box.
And it's something we're going to hang up and treasure for the rest of our lives.
And her well-earned diploma on her behalf.
It was bittersweet because she was looking forward to graduation for a long time.
Accepting for Carmen Shentrup.
Carmen Shentrup and Nick Dworet's loved ones did the same.
Accepting for Coach Aaron Feist.
The 3 staff members who didn't survive were also remembered. MSD drama students performed their original song, Shine.
Today you're graduating from high school.
And then a surprise as Tonight Show host Jimmy Fallon delivered the commencement speech.
Choose to move forward. Don't let anything stop.
In the last 4 months, many Stoneman Douglas students have become outspoken activists, students organizing the massive March for Our Lives demanding tougher gun laws, the Pollocks spearheading Meadow's movement for school safety.
Now, in the wake of that Broward County shooting, the state is now requiring schools around Florida and here on the Suncoast to increase school security. Since the shooting, both Sarasota and Manatee County schools have placed school resource officers in every school, but now they're working for a more permanent solution before classes resume in August. The Sarasota County School District wants to form its own police department, while Manatee County schools have decided on a district guardian program. That means school employees will be hired as armed security for the schools. Now, the former sheriff's deputy, who has been criticized for his actions, or some say lack of actions, during that mass shooting, is expected to break his silence during a 2-part interview on the Today Show. The segment airs tomorrow morning. Here's a preview.
I live with that. You know, how could I not? I mean, I'm human. I mean, in the perfect world, I would have said, yeah, I know there was a shooter in there. Let me go to the 3rd floor, find this person, you know.
During the interview, Scott Peterson later calls the students "my kids" and says that knowing what he knows now, he would have, quote, been in that building in a heartbeat. President Trump's legal team is arguing the president can't be forced to testify and claims even if the president were found guilty of a crime, he has the power to pardon himself. This all comes after a leaked memo the president's team wrote to the special counsel claiming it's impossible for the president to be found guilty of obstruction of justice. Now, his lead attorney, Rudy Giuliani, made what some call a shocking suggestion. He told the Huffington Post in no case can he be subpoenaed or indicted. If he shot James Comey, he'd be impeached the next day. Impeach him, and then you can do whatever you want to do to him. He also made the claim that even if the president were found guilty of a crime, he has the power to pardon.
Do you and the president's attorneys believe the president has the power to pardon himself?
He's not, but he probably does.
All this as the president's legal team responds to a 20-page leaked memo sent to the special counsel from earlier this year. That memo revealed for the first time the president's attorney admitted that President Trump dictated the initial response about his son, Don Jr.'s meeting with a Russian attorney before the election, something the White House has previously denied. So where is the First Lady? After over 20 days without anyone seeing Melania Trump, she's expected to appear at a Gold Star event today at the White House. She will not attend the G7 summit later on this week in Quebec. The appearance follows what her spokesperson described as a medical procedure to treat a benign kidney issue. On May 14th, she remained at Walter Reed Medical Center for 5 nights after the procedure before returning to the White House later in the month. Now, time for our own First Lady. Here is Chef Judy in the kitchen. Take it away.
Ooh, Hard to live up to that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is, this is what I love, are the cooking tips. Simple little cooking tip that I didn't know. I knew to roll your mint and kind of squeeze it to express it. This is even easier. Hit it a little bit, just like you would with lemongrass. Hit it on the cutting board, and that's gonna express the mint. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna make a dressing. So we're gonna take white wine vinegar. We're going to take extra virgin olive oil. You want that nice, beautiful green color that's going to go in there. Garlic, enough from 1 clove. You don't want the garlic too overpowering. We'll do, it's a pinch of crushed red pepper. It's probably about a half a teaspoon. And we'll do about 3/4 of a teaspoon of sugar. And this basically makes the vinaigrette. So we're gonna let this sit there like that, okay? Then we're gonna come over and we're gonna take the squash that's been browned, that's slightly cooled, and you're gonna cut it into about 2-ounce pieces. And just to show you, I'll do a couple like this. Now let's talk about hazelnuts. When you buy hazelnuts in bulk, they're gonna come with that shell on it. So they're gonna come with these dark shells. The best way to blanch hazelnuts to get them off is to add 4 teaspoons of baking soda into rolling boiling water. Blanch those for 3.5 minutes in a colander, take paper towel, and you can wipe the skins off. Even better is if you can buy the hazelnuts already peeled, but that's what you need to do. Then you put them peeled on a pan with just a little bit of olive oil and salt, and that goes in the oven just to get them toasted up and brown. Now we're going to take the ricotta. The reason why I went with a real artisan ricotta cheese is the happier and the more grazing that the cows get, the more they're going to produce a really rich milk, which makes a really rich cheese. So we're going to take our toasted baguette bagel, and I mean, you can just serve this with rustic bread, or like I said, you can omit the bagel if you want. And then what we're gonna do, we mix the ricotta with a little zest of lemon, a little more on top. Now, take the mint out of that dressing marinade that you made for the squash. You're gonna remove that, and then we're just gonna pile this on a little bit. Oh, and I can smell just a little bit of the mint and the red pepper. So we'll put that on there, and then we're gonna garnish it, and we come back, I think we're ready to serve brunch. We'll be back in a few minutes for the first taste.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do-it-yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
From the moment she walked in the door, we stopped having to go to the pharmacy. Certain prescriptions, my health plan or the pharmacy wasn't even able to get here. And hospice provided them, and all we had to do was call up, and the next thing they know, there was another, a delivery.
Soldiers in the Army National Guard serve to give back to their country and communities. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for an array of benefits, such as affordable health and life insurance benefits, education benefits, including tuition assistance, student loan repayment and GI Bill programs, a retirement plan based on part-time service, and VA home mortgages. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about all the benefits available in the Army National Guard.
Everyone's buzzing about Suncoast View.
I like watching the Suncoast View.
I like the Suncoast View.
The cooking segments, I love the recipes. The theater segments are terrific.
Join Stephanie Roberts, Linda Carson, and special guests on Suncoast View for hot topics, everyday issues, celebrities, food, fashion, fitness, and everything in between. Nothing is off limits.
They're just fun.
For smart, fun talk in the afternoon, watch Suncoast View, weekdays at 4 on ABC 7.
About every 3 minutes in America, someone is diagnosed with a blood cancer. Light the Night brings together survivors and supporters to bring light to the darkness of cancer and to help fund life-saving research. Our goal is a world without blood cancers, and we're lighting the path to cures. The discoveries made in blood cancer research have led to breakthrough treatments for many cancers and other serious diseases. Help defeat the darkness of cancer. Join Light the Night today.
Okay, so what would you bring to my company?
What do you need?
I need problem-solving skills.
I got through high school without a car, a phone, or a computer.
No college degree, though.
Not yet, but life's taught me a lot, and I'm ready for more.
Well, you're not the typical kind of candidate that I hire. But you are exactly what I'm looking for.
Your company could be missing out on the candidates it needs most. Learn how to find a great pool of untapped talent at gradsoflife.org.
Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
So we're looking at an 88-degree temperature by 3 p.m. I think we'll have a lot of sunshine mixed with some fair weather clouds. Not much of a rain chance today near the coastline, but well inland there is a chance of showers across the state of Florida. And I'm talking well inland, Hardee, DeSoto, inland Hardee and DeSoto, eastern parts of Hardee and DeSoto, and then on into Highlands County and toward the other coast. 82 degrees by 7 p.m. should be a beautiful evening. Nice westerly wind flow continuing to give it kind of a breezy feel near the coast. If you're going to take that beach walk, should be lovely. Nice sunset period. And then overnight, we'll watch our temperatures fall into the upper 70s. Futurecast at about 3 o'clock this afternoon. As I mentioned, a few scattered showers, Hardee, DeSoto, moving toward the other coast where they get more intense. And then there's the possibility, I think, as we head into the overnight of maybe seeing a few scattered showers build along the coastline by tomorrow morning. I don't think we'll see quite this many, but there'll be a few around in the pre-dawn hours, and then everything will kind of, like today, move into inland areas. We have a frontal boundary located to our north, cold front sinking south, turning into a stalled stationary front. That's helping to pick up a few clouds and also bring us a little extra rain showers in the northern part of the state. But there's also some very dry air back behind that, and that's going to really keep our rain chances somewhat minimal. High pressure ridge down to our south directs our winds out of the west as it moves across the top edge of that high pressure ridge, and that's going to again produce most of the heavier weather over on the other coast over the next several days, pushing those showers from inland areas of our coast toward the other Atlantic coast. So mostly hot and humid today. Just slight rain chances near our coastline. And then a slight break in the humidity midweek, I think, perhaps, as some of that drier air that's located just to our north sinks southward. Now, we're not seeing a lot of cloud cover up here because of that drier air, but as that front kind of meanders back to the west, we're seeing some big storms build up in Texas and Oklahoma. And then that drier air, which is very visible on our water vapor imagery here, is this tan color. That's the dry air. The moist air, of course, is that turquoise color. This gives you, the water vapor imagery does, a good view of the swirls and motions in the atmosphere. And you can see that kind of trying to trickle its way southward down the Florida Peninsula. So we get a little bit of that aloft, and we get some at the surface as well, and that's going to help bring a slightly lower humidity as we head into midweek. You can see a few of the showers trying to build up currently, mostly all east of the interstate. Could we see an isolated shower near the coast? Yeah, we could. It's not out of the question, but the rain chance is very low. Much better chances in inland areas, and some of the storms, as I mentioned, could be thunderstorms. But then over the next several days, I think that drier air will continue to provide us with less than average rain chances. And maybe by the time we get to Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, and that front kind of sags southward and washes out over us, then maybe we see a little bit of a reduction in that surface humidity that'll make it feel just a little more comfortable. Low 70s for dew points instead of the upper 70s that we have now. West wind might surge just a little bit this evening. Watch for that, boaters. Otherwise, 88 today, warm again tomorrow. 20%, 30% chance of rain for the next several days, mostly inland, not near the coast. Then as we head into Thursday and Friday, some drier air maybe filters in, reducing Friday rain chances. And Saturday and Sunday, we'll have about a 50% chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms, kind of typical summer-like stuff. Back to you, Ray.
Thank you, John. We've got some breaking news in our first alert traffic right now involving a fatal crash on I-75 at Clark Road southbound. No word what happened yet, but you'll want to avoid that area of I-75 and Clark. Big backups, looks like in both directions. We'll have details on it later today right here on ABC 7. It is a big day today for Apple. Their annual developer conference gets underway in a matter of minutes in San Jose, California. Apple is expected to launch a new iPhone that actually, get this, includes a feature to help curb phone addiction. Yeah, it's an app that helps users monitor the time they spend on certain apps. The company may also preview improvements to its voice assistant Siri. CEO Tim Cook will host the annual event. Facebook is closing the book on its Trending Topics section. The social media giant says the section will be removed sometime this week. Trending Topics was launched back in 2014 and was intended to highlight interesting conversation and what Facebook called the best content. But 2 years ago, a former Facebook contractor claimed the social media giant suppressed news on popular conservative topics. CEO Mark Zuckerberg decided to use the algorithms instead of people to figure out the trending topics at that time. Microsoft announced a big investment. The company says it's paying $7.5 billion in stock for a company called GitHub. Yeah, GitHub calls itself the world's leading software development platform. It began in 2008 and now has 27 million software developers around the world who use their platform to share code and build businesses. It's free to use, but some developers and businesses pay a monthly fee to access private code repositories and other services. That's some high-end stuff there. So to come on your Suncoast News, using their star power to help others, how Beyonce and Jay-Z are getting their fans to help two particular charities.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
The following message is brought to you by Mesobook.com.
People who have been diagnosed with mesothelioma have many questions. How did I get this disease? What are my treatment options? How will this affect my loved ones? You need answers, which is why we offer a free book written by medical professionals who have treated mesothelioma.
Call toll-free at 1-800-777-1366 or go to mesobook.com.
Growing up, my mom was afraid of the water, something she did not want me to feel.
So I enrolled Missy in swim lessons.
It changed my life.
Missy Franklin.
And now you can do the same for someone that you love.
There's nothing more precious than your child's well-being.
So act now before it's too late.
Make us fly! I'm glad I did.
Thanks, Mom. Visit usaswimmingfoundation.org to find, get, or give a swim lesson.
They are the greatest fighting force the world has ever seen. But what does it take to bridge the distance and keep them connected to family, home, and country? What does it take to strengthen our service members so they can be the greatest force for good in the world? It takes a force. Be a force behind the forces. Give today at force.uso.org.
Imagine a world filled with pillow fights, playgrounds, and the search for the perfect climbing tree. Every kid deserves that world, but 1 in 5 kids in America struggle with hunger. At No Kid Hungry, we're committed to creating a world where every kid eats healthy food every day. We raise funds, we help families, and we lift up communities.
I used to dread getting up and going to work.
I was done with the corporate grind.
I was tired of being a starving artist.
And I started looking around for a business that I believed in, and I kind of wanted to do something a little more green.
My SCORE mentor helped me take the first step.
He helped me create a business plan and helped me implement it.
They've really taught me how to think big.
SCORE helped me to make the unimaginable possible, all for free. I'm here because of SCORE.
I'm here because of SCORE.
Get your free business mentor at SCORE.org.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Nice. Oh, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's a lot of work. We were talking about Thomas Keller's cookbook. We were.
And saying that This is absolutely very Thomas Keller-like. I mean, it's fresh, fresh squashes, and it's delightful.
And, you know, we forget in the summer we're lacking produce, but we do grow summer squash here, and this is the time that it's coming in. Serve it with a nice rosé cava and the toasted chopped hazelnuts, and it just makes for a really light meal and great for somebody that wants to eat vegetarian style.
And it's nice and it's rustic, and it's,
I love rustic, as you know.
Good stuff. On our website, mysuncoast.com, click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there and give you Chef Judy's video instructions as well. Judy, thanks so much. Very tasty.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, folks. Entertainment news now. Prince's estate is suing an Oklahoma man for alleged copyright infringement. The lawsuit accuses a Phil Shadid of distributing videos from a band that Prince created back in 1982 called Vanity 6. Prince made up that band and wrote songs for the American Female Trio. The lawsuit seeks to keep the videos off the website. In addition to damages, attorneys also are seeking court costs as well. Well, it didn't have much of a launch, and now it's looking more like it might lose its orbit after all. The latest Star Wars movie called Solo continues to lose momentum at the box office. Solo has earned $148 million after 2 weeks, which doesn't sound too bad, but that's still less what the last Star Wars movie, Rogue One, did 2 years ago in opening week. Beyonce and Jay-Z are encouraging their fans to do good deeds. The celebrity couple is launching the Be Good, Do Good campaign. They're giving European fans the chance to win a pair of tickets to their On the Run 2 stadium tour if they volunteer their time to one of two charities. Now, those two charities are the Prince's Trust in the UK and also Global Citizen in mainland Europe. The Prince's Trust helps disadvantaged young people get their lives back on track, while Global Citizen aims to end extreme poverty by the year 2013. A little leverage there to get their fans active in the community.
I love it. Anything that can inspire people to volunteer is important.
Absolutely right. Yeah, good plan.
Yeah. Hot afternoon?
Hot, humid, maybe midweek. I'm looking forward to it. It's not going to be the kind of dry air that makes you go, oh my gosh, is this fantastic? But it will at least take the edge off things a little, and maybe your air conditioner will have to work a little less hard to cool things down.
All right. Thank you, John. Thank you, Judy. We'll see you tomorrow on Good Morning Suncoast. Next news at 5. Have a good afternoon.